I am joined by the 2016 program co-chairs, Vasanthi Jayaraman and Mike Ostap. Thank you so much both for being with us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Now, I know that you guys have spent the last, 2 years planning this program. It's an incredible program, so congrats to you both. But let's talk about some of the more exciting, new and exciting things that we can see.
So I guess what I'm most excited about is just the overall breadth and the quality and impact of the people speaking in the symposia. So the scientific symposia focus on the specific interests within the society, but what's really amazing about this year is we've been able to incorporate some of the hottest topics in biophysics that include things like super resolution microscopy, computation, as well as new structural techniques.
So, for instance, along those same lines, we've sort of expanded some of the techniques that have been developed in the society are now being used in other areas such as optogenetics. That's a symposium we have, where you can use it to look at brain circuitry, and also we have a symposia. So the emergence of cryo-EM is a very important development for our society. So we have focused a lot of talks on cryo-EM. So we're very excited about the new areas and the emerging areas.
And what's really unique about the society is that so many of these techniques that are really driving basic science forward were developed by the people that come to this meeting. So it's really incredible to be able to put these new symposia together using these techniques that were developed in-house.
Yeah, let's dive in a little bit deeper to the new and notable in the future of biophysics. You talked about cryo. I'm hearing cryo as a buzzword this year.
Yes.
But what other things are you looking at? What are some of the hot new developments within that arena?
So, so the new and notable is very interesting because it showcases the new discoveries. As you said, we start planning the program 2 years in advance. So really some of what we are thinking about might not be exciting and new. So that's the main idea of the new and notable, to sort of showcase the new discoveries. And this year we have a talk on, for instance, single molecule spectroscopy, which talks about dynamics of channels. And we also, again, we have structures, lots of structures of channels and other membrane proteins. And
yeah, so there's also, so the new and notable is really nice because it's using these amazing new technologies which we just mentioned to solve structures. But they also include new studies that look at the dynamics of proteins, how they move and how they interact with each other. We also have a symposium called Futures, the Futures of Biophysics, and this is a symposium that invites early career investigators. So they're either late in their postdoctoral careers or they're early assistant professors or equivalent. And these are investigators that are just on the cusp of being established investigators, or just about to get their new faculty positions. And so within this symposium, it's very important that we include people that really want to understand the physics of biology. So there'll be single young investigators that will be discussing high-resolution crystallography structures in relation to their cellular processes. So it's really quite exciting.
Yeah.
And for instance, we have when we're looking for these rising stars, there are various venues that we can go to look for the rising stars. So for instance, we look at the Burroughs Wellcome New Investigators, as well as people who were awarded the NIH Transition Awards. These are people who have been already picked as being rising stars, so we want to showcase them and bring their science to the society.
Yeah, and the symposium is supported in part by Burroughs Wellcome.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, in closing then, any advice to attendees? Obviously they can't see it all, but what would you say to people who are really looking to excel and grow and become maybe a rising star in the field?
So I think the biggest thing is the spectrum of techniques and questions that are being addressed. We have a very wide range of techniques and questions being addressed, and my advice would be not to just focus on just the science that one is doing or one is planning on doing, but to go and explore other new areas and see what's out there and what's emerging.
Yeah, so don't pigeonhole yourself into the field that you're already familiar with. Take advantage of these symposia. The symposia have brought in the very best scientists around the world on that topic, and this is an opportunity for you to learn something new. But I'd also like to point out is that it's not only scientific sessions here. We also have sessions for career development. So I would really encourage the junior scientists, the trainees, to take advantage of these programs, because there's several of them. Biophysical Society has a long tradition of really catering to the emerging scientists, so they should take a look.
Yeah, and for instance, we have the speed networking tomorrow, where they can come in and they can network, and it's a great opportunity to network
great.
and make connections. But it's not just for junior investigators. We also have mid-career events, so that mid-career scientists can also have networking events. We have a PI to PI wine and cheese mixer tomorrow.
I'll sign up for that.
Right. So so it's basically a great opportunity for people at various levels to be able to network, learn about good science, and have fun.
Yeah, and there's also a scientific session, since we're in LA, called Hollywood and Science.
Oh, wow.
So it's fun. So to actually learn about how what the relationship is between television and movies and science itself.
Well, all great stuff. Mike, Vasanthi, thank you so much
Thank you.
for being here, and thank you for planning such an incredible program here
Thank you.
in Los Angeles.
Okay, thank you.